I am Deepika, Project Head Sales, LED Expo, Messe Frankfurt Trade Fairs India Private Limited, your host for the session today. As a trade fair organizers, we understand the significance of networking and staying connected, and therefore using technology as our new business enabler. We continue our goal of bringing people together, and it is an extreme delight to have you all joining us for this industry exchange today. Our session today will take up a much needed discussion on rebooting the LED component industry with the 3S: source, strategies, and solutions. In the entire session today, we are going to learn about how to strategize the source and manufacturing of the right quality of product for the demanding market in India, and solutions suggested to adopt new market trends and grow business. So before we move further, we would like to put a few polling questions to know who all are our viewers today. Rona, can I have the polling questions, please? So first question goes it like this. What is the profile and the nature of your business? The option here are LED manufacturers, LED drivers manufacturers, lighting engineers, architects, wholesalers, professional from hotel, malls, construction, government agencies, end users, and others. So we have our results, and it's good to see that the maximum number of attendees are from LED lighting manufacturers. Of course, it will be a very good and fruitful session for them because we are discussing one of the very important component for the lighting manufacturers.
Yeah, Deepika, as expected, there's supposed to be a tie between lighting manufacturers and distributors.
Yes,
I think
sir.
Come out very well, right?
Yeah, they come out very well, sir. I would agree with you. Can I have this second question, please? The second question is, how prepared are you to start manufacturing and operations once the lockdown is lifted? 100% ready, 50% ready, 25% ready, and some are uncertain.
They get 10 seconds to answer?
Yeah. So it's again good to see that 100% ready comes out with 43%, 50% ready comes out to be 34%. That's a good number in first two categories. So we all should lift up our socks to get ready for the business. That's great to know.
I think we should congratulate the industry.
Yeah, really, sir.
Really, 75%.
Really applauding.
Very ready there.
Yeah. Now it's time to take ahead with a very warm welcome to our industry experts. As a moderator, we have Mr. Vijay Kumar Gupta, CEO, Quality Photonics Private Limited, and our esteemed speakers, Mr. Nishikant Divedi, Marketing Manager from Componix India, Mr. Bhaskar Tyagarajan, Director Power Integration, Mr. Sandeep, Director Semiconic Devices. Mr. Gupta, now the floor is all yours. Over to you, Mr. Gupta.
Thank you, Deepika, and a very warm welcome to all the participants of this webinar. We have, how many we have right now, Deepika?
We've got 280, sir.
280, that's fantastic.
That's a good number, sir.
I sincerely hope that all of you, your families are safe and that your business is well ready to take off, as seen in the poll also. So I wish that you have very secure opening. I know we entrepreneurs and business are best brains in the society and will adapt the fastest. I'm sure about this. And the good news is that government is ready to look at the economic well-being as compared to earlier, its emphasis on citizens' well-being, right? From today, factories and offices are allowed to operate 100% strength. And I'm sure you're all busy trying to see how well you can manage COVID and stop it from entering your golden threshold of your companies and offices. We are expecting a lot of positive fallouts from this COVID, especially in terms of move of industries from other places to India, relocating of these global MNCs. There's a very good example of being proactive here. The Indonesian government has got 25 factories of US transferred from China to Indonesia. And Trump has himself has announced this. So because the Indonesian government held talks directly with President of USA as well as all the heads of the company. Indonesia gave huge incentives like freezing up the lands for 5 years and allocated 4,000 hectares in the central Java for this location of these American industries. So apart from overall business climate, certainty of policies, infrastructure, logistics, supply chain, we need to have all this. And the quality of labor, the proactive government is also very important, how fast they take decisions and utilize the opportunity. Of course, our low cost of labor is always there on the background, right? Now, today's our main seminar is on components for the LED lighting industry. In the very last webinar of MSA, we had, they have highlighted the shortage or absence of LED packaging industry in India, right? The need for such a thing. So it's likely very good that this is a follow-up seminar is the right one. In India, we have demand for almost 3 billion LEDs every month of SMD LEDs. They are being right now imported. So, so demand-wise, we have very good requirement. Then technology-wise is not a big deal. The machines are mature, the materials are mature, so people can very easily start it. I know many of the lamp manufacturers have already toyed with this idea. But where is no, see, we are the manufacturers of LEDs for last 35 years. At today, we depend on the special LEDs, like special spectrum, horticulture, and UV LEDs, rather than on the lighting LEDs, which is the biggest demand, right? So, and for last 12 months, we have been developing UVC LEDs under European Union and DST funded India project. With a grant of 10 crores, along with 6 European Union universities and in 6 countries, as well as BITS Pilani, India, and NERI, India. So the reason is probably the ITA1, the LEDs and all components, resistors, capacitors, under Information Technology Agreement 1, where they are supposed to be zero duty across the world for free flow of IT-related hardware. This we entered into agreement in 1996. And in India, we implemented it by 2005. So then that was the start of big end of component industry in India. Earlier, we had a very huge component industry in India. Like Hyderabad was a big capital for black and white TV. At that time, everything, registers, capacitor, every part of TV was made in India, 100%. But advent of color TV, probably there was no continuity of the component legacy, and then things died very well. So, but at the same time, I can say that LED packaging can happen in India even at a micro and small level. We don't have to have expensive automatic machines. The ATMP can be implemented at the SSG level to create large-scale employment too. A semi-automatic magazine-less wire bonder costs just 1/20th of an auto bonder, right? And for example, China had a thriving COB ATMP family-led production for 20 years ago, and thriving bulb industry in India. I think all of you are from lighting industry. You see that when the machines were made in India, I think there were hundreds of small companies, small setups which were running and making, augmenting the production to the Indian industry, right? So with these viewers, I think there's a good hope. I hope today's sourcing and other things will bring out a lot of good things. I request our first we will have a again some more poll questions, I suppose. Deepika ji.
Yes, sir. Ronak, can you help me?
We have two small poll questions for you.
Yeah.
From which country do you source most of your components and raw materials of the parts? China, Korea, Japan, or India? Right? I know the first part of the answer, who is first, but let us see the ranking or how dense it is. Now we have 300 participants actively listening to it. Wow, 72% from China, 5% from Korea, and excellent. We have almost 20% from all make in India. Superb. I think this is a good nucleus for Indian industry to start looking local and being vocal about it. Congrats all the participants. Then let us have the second poll question, please. Do you intend to increase your efforts and be self-sufficient manufacturer of components in our country? So I think, would you like to source from India, or you would like to contribute to having components in India? So let's be vocal. Wow, 57%. Superb, sir, superb. All the rest. I think we all have imbibed the right spirit. I know, apart from our Prime Minister talking about it, we are seeing in forums of discussion along our WhatsApp. The sentiment is very, very clear that everybody is now going to work very hard to find a source within India. I think this will augur very well for the whole country. So, one more, we have poll question. Which lighting product do you see will prove to be the most outscored application in the future? Would any of the other panelists like to comment on this when the results come?
Smart lighting?
No. I'm talking about after the results come, polling. Okay. Would you like to comment on
Smart lighting.
Wow. I think our panelists are already very well aware of the pulse of the public and the industry. Very well, great. So now it's time for us to get into the core of today's program. I invite Sri Nishikant. Sorry. Right. So he can give you a lot of insight into the sourcing, how to source and then increase boosting the local industry.
First of all, thank you, Vijayji, for guiding us,
Hello, welcome to all panelists and participants, and thanks to Massey for organizing this webinar discussion on sourcing, strategy and their solutions. So my part is the sourcing. So I want to share some presentation on that. Yes. So sourcing is the part of the demand creation or the demand of the market. So why the need of sourcing in the semiconductor market? I want to put up some points on this. Semiconductor market is grown by 29% CAGR from 2015. As per the India Electronics and Semiconductor Association, our design and manufacturing market will grow by $400 billion by 2020, and it was $76 billion in 2013. That is a good growth. I think around 26 CAGR percentage growth. So it shows the number big dependency on the overseas semiconductor market due to the lack of semicon fabs, incubation centers, and the manufacturing clusters in India. As per the import data, we are importing around $5 billion ICs or analog circuits from the China, and the $1 billion revenue from the Korea from the 2018 data. For analog IC, we are totally dependent on China market. For automation kind of things, we are totally dependent on Japan. For memory, we are importing from South Korea, basically. So I want to say we need to find more option geographically, so it will be more effective for India. So as I already told, 7 to 75% components we are sourcing from the overseas due to the lack of the chip foundries in India. So basically sourcing is a main part of the sourcing as the TQRTC. These five terminologies are basic fundamental of our sourcing. T stand for technology. We should need to introduce the latest technology production in the market. Quality, yes, quality is again a trust and a cost investment and any of the product. So it is a very important when we are sourcing any product, we should be aware about the manufacturer quality parameter and standards. R stand for response. For any business, response time is very important. Delivery. We need to control the delivery or the lead time by managing planning, right planning, or the geographical mapping of the manufacturer plants. C is the cost. Yes, of course. Cost is always dependent on all the top four parameters. Cost will increase if we go for the good quality, good technology. But again, if we choose a good product, we should work for the good technology also. Sourcing dependency on the overseas, disadvantage for the sampling cost, project delay, and the sampling delay. Trade-off business is always good for the country economical growth. We need to stand up our local manufacturer or the raw material like housing, magnetic supplier, or the PCB supplier. We need to identify local sources in our product. It may be higher in costing, but when we will support, they are able to manage after some time. Enabling technology. After COVID effect, we need to apply some changes on our warehouses level or the local stores. It is an investment and it gives a protection to our colleagues. We should install UVC lights in our racks of the where we are storing our raw materials. Sanitization tunnel is important entry in the warehouses. In terms of adding technology in sourcing, there is a wide scope and it is a very helpful to everyone. But again, it is a long-term investment like ERP system and big data. ERP system, it is a helpful for every sourcing guy. It saves time. We usually doing manual entry in the Excels. Big data, collecting past performance data from import analysis will always helpful in sourcing the right product in a right cost and the right market. We can also save the inventory cost from the big data. Digital logistics system like barcode tracing, entry level in the system will always save the time and more efficient. E-commerce system will be helpful, especially for the manufacturer and the distributor. So one last idea is automized warehouse regional wise. So it's an idea we can share regional wise warehouses that can be automated. Yes, we can share a common warehouse also. It's an ideology. Manufacturing manufacturing advancements. Technology is changing so fast. We need to be work on product warranty level for 1 year only. Need to focus on a good quality components. It increase product cost, but maintenance cost will be decreased. Failure rate is low. Need to address good R&D houses for the new product development as per the expertise. So the development time will reduce and failure rate also reduce. Regional wise, we need to find a good EMS companies. So many of the companies want to invest on the R&D. They can go ahead and let them production will go for the EMS jobs only, because SMT line is a big investment. Manufacturing will be more focused towards smart IoT products as per the industry demand. Technological sourcing, we technical technological sourcing guy is always a betterment for any manufacturing company, because he is always aware the quality and technical specifications of their product. India is divided in the 4 segments in the semiconductor market. Pune is the automotive zone, North is the lighting, industrial, solar, EMS, and South is the software services and the power supply. We need to set up as per our requirement. It saves time and money in transportation, and development losses will be low. Like automotive PC supply need to set up near the zones. It make a business cluster zones. Adoption of the new trends of the sourcing components. We need to support our local supplier, helpful in managing inventory and credit support. Need to address plastic housing, die casting, lenses, magnetic local suppliers, so it will reduce overseas dependency. Sourcing partner like distributor should be technological supportive and one-stop support for all the components. Geographically, overseas and locally, we need to find more sources to secure manufacturing future in India. Every manufacturer must approve minimum 4 to 5 brand in the BOM from top to bottom in the pricing. So this is last. I want to show some government steps towards the semicon developments. There are 3 major weak links of the India and the semicon. One is the semicon fest, second is the incubation center, and last one is the cluster zones, semiconductor cluster zones. But government takes some positive actions towards these sections, like semicon fabs. Next, Orbit Venture, there is a good venture, and they invested $100 million in a Gujarat-based semiconductor plant. This is under ESDM, Electronic System Design and Manufacturing. Second one is incubation centers, Entrepreneur Park, Marker Village, Cochin. These are the some government initiatives. We have to focus manufacturing cluster zones like MSME. Like we have to some cluster zone for automotive, for power industry. So it will be easy to all to capture the right market and right time. Investment in the semiconductor, FDI investment. Already there are some MNCs companies are coming for India like Samsung, Toshiba, Panasonic, and help to generate skill, demand, and jobs. Thanks to all for listening me.
Super. I think you're stuck to your time very precisely. This definitely helps us to have lots of question answers later. And thanks a lot for this. And then I now request speaker number 2, Mr. Bhaskar from Power Integration. He'll be presenting the strategies to identify right product meeting the global quality standards, cost effective and reliability. Mr. Bhaskar, please.
Yeah, good morning, all of you. And I'll just share the screen. So, are you able to see the screen?
Yes.
Yeah, good morning, all of you. And thanks, Mr. Gupta ji, and then Deepika for organizing this webinar. And I'll be talking about sourcing strategies. As Nishant was talking about the shortfall or the weak links. So, and also the Prime Minister talking about vocal for local. This is the right time for all of us to start thinking to manufacture in India. So there is a good ecosystem, and I'll be talking about how we should really look at sourcing and identifying, which is very critical for completing the ecosystems. So on this sourcing, if you look at sourcing, it is very important. It's not just a joke to manufacture a product without having giving more importance on sourcing. So you should, if you look at,
Bhaskar, excuse me. Can you please put the PPT on the slide mode, because there are few chats coming up. They
oh,
want
is
to
it?
see the first screen.
Okay, you can see now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you should look at sourcing under three aspects. One is based on technology. So that will enable you to have futuristic product and get an early bird advantage, and also builds a trust in partnering long term. So if you're sourcing on cheaper price only, either you will compromise on price and you will end up in using infringed parts, and there won't be any local technical support or failure analysis. And the third is, if you are sourcing one time, they're all opportunistic and no long-term support. So that is why sourcing is very important. You should really look at what uh, amount of time you spend on sourcing, on what basis. So I'll be now covering how to identify the right product and solutions. So one has to look at technology and market leaders. You should really work with people who really innovate, continuously invest in R&D, and always drives and meets energy efficiency standards, and also have a local support where any product has 80% or more indigenization. Especially this COVID really has taught us a lesson on dependency. So when you look at this dependency, now people are started talking about manufacturing in India, and the ecosystem that needs to be put in place is all the supply chain, which even Prime Minister was emphasizing on marketing and supply chain. So this is the right time, and you should go with the right product which has all these technology uh, features, and also there should be an enablers, and also the uh, product should enhance your brand value. You should get a USP for your end product, and also keep up your reputation and earn trust in terms of quality and in terms of service and support. Finally, the product should also result in providing some social cause, which could be reducing energy waste, thereby millions of tons of carbon dioxide emission is averted. So all this really matters. If you work with these kind of technology companies, you really can build good quality, and then also try to sell globally, because that is again a dream or a message from Modi, that we should enhance our quality level and start thinking of building products for global markets. So this is the right time, and you should really look at products which carries all these things. So I just these are the two strategies which really you should adapt, and I'll just run through what PI is doing globally. Two slides, just a gist of it. So we globally, we are well known to all the policymakers and working on energy efficiency standards. So we support academic research centers for energy efficiency, and this energy efficiency is achieved at no cost. There is no cost involved in it. It is a technology of our device which saves a lot of energy waste. And also engagement with customer and support and quality. So we provide application support, and each device is tested and traceable, and we provide complete system level analysis. So, and also we have our sustainable priorities, which again we are talking about energy efficiency, then supply chain, the raw materials that we use, and the people who are involved in innovation. So our lifeblood is innovation. So what PI can do in India is align with whatever the government mandate or strategy is. We can provide a complete cost-effective solution for lighting. Uh, that includes smart lighting also, and meet energy efficiency standards in all upcoming smart city programs, and engage with customer long term. So this is very important. We provide technical support, and local lab is available with measuring and EMI and surge equipments. This is very important for long term engagement. And finally, I would like to conclude saying that sourcing is crucial, and so supplier selection is thinking of long term. So please think of supplier who is long term, and we can be of right fit, and ensure proper track record of history of suppliers, because on and off we have seen a lot of LEDs products that have failed miserably, and we have paid for it, and the failure rates could be somewhere around 20 to 30%, and it's really very difficult for us to even get it replaced. So sourcing is very important, and ensure no failure of product using non-reputed brands and cheap parts. So use a reputed brand, ensure level playing, and blacklist unreliable suppliers with more failures. So as I said, more localization of design and manufacturing possible to reduce supply chain dependency. And we can help you also in the e-waste reducing, because our thanks to our integration technology, where we eliminate number of components. So be with leader and become a leader, and we are leaders, and lighting products are lifetime investment, so you cannot replace every often. Enhance your brand value, so we can play a major role. So the message is, we can really provide a lot of support for the electronic industries, in terms of, for especially for the LED driver manufacturing, that really can work well with the current situation, and also mandates from the ministries. So the only thing is, we need to really look at how organizations with R&D development or design done in India to be given some incentives. So I think with that I will conclude my presentation.
Thank you, Bhaskarji. Excellent one. I think when we are trying to indigenize our own products, you will face a lot of quality issues, as you said, from suppliers, because still the 99.99% quality assurance still is not a big hit with the Indian suppliers. There is one question from Mr. Nevte, because
Yeah.
you have done earlier itself, regarding the cost-wise. Suppose they design with PI.
Yeah.
How will they be on the cost side? That's what they were talking about. There's one. I thought you have time, so I wanted to pop it in here.
So when you look at power integration device, we integrate many features. So the benefit is on the system cost level. You should not look at device price. You should look at overall cost of the solution. So I may be even contributing 30-40% of the total solution, but end of the day, your solution cost is what matters, meeting standards and quality aspects. So we are competitive.
The whole life cycle cost, as well as the quality satisfaction, the intangible also has to be
exactly. Yes.
Great. So I think excellent timing, sir. Now I invite Sandeep from Semiconic to provide some insights onto solutions through progressive move by introducing new product applications, maintaining ecosystems with support of government new policies, right? So he'll link up the policies with the sourcing. Sandeep, please.
Thanks, Vijay sir. Okay, and thanks everyone who is watching us. And I really hope that everyone is fine and safe at their homes, especially in this, so big pandemic we are going through. Okay, so I think you can see my screen, right?
Yes, Sandeep.
Very good. We can see you.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, like, my name is Sandeep Soni, and I'm from Semiconic Devices. So, here are the few highlights which I would like to present here. One is the components categorization. Second is the technology drive, and third is the government support, and fourth is the ecosystem. So when we come to the categorization of the electronic components, I mean, not the electronic components, I would say the components to make the LED products. So there are the two major categories. One is the plastic and metals. So for plastic and metal, definitely covers all kind of housings and the optics and these kind of components. And another one is the electronics, where semiconductors, capacitors, inductors, everything, these kind of electronic products comes in. Okay, so for the plastic and metals, definitely still there is a big production is going on in India, and there is no raw material issue, because this is definitely metal and this is definitely plastic only. So as of now, I think maybe 50% or 60% is already getting manufactured in India, but we still deserve to shift this 100% production within India itself. So here we all, the industry should actually put their efforts to get this 100% done in India. And also I strongly believe that we can be a good exporter as well, because there is just the business mind and the government support, which and setups are also not required very big. So these things can be shifted to within India itself, and that can actually support Indian manufacturing and the economy. And now we come to the electronics section. So for electronics, definitely it has the semiconductors and few other electronic components. So I would like to add here, like the first point, choosing the right component for the product. When we are designing any electronic solution or any electronics, I'm talking about the driver as of now, or maybe the LEDs, all the electronic components. So we should be using the right components to make sure that what the product demand is into, because if it is the reliability is the big factor, go for go for the best one, where price matters. And we should not, for example, if we are competing with US based we are using US based components or some European components, and then we are competing with the Chinese products, then we will definitely not be able to compete with them. So let us, so this is what I want to say is, like, we should be using the right components. So, and then we should compare the product apple to apple. So using the right components, because components is a big sea, is kind of an ocean. One product is being manufactured by many of the makers. So we should be very careful about choosing the right component for the product. And then this is bad luck for us. Like, semiconductor has an ecosystem limitation, and those cannot be manufactured in India as of now, because it has a chain, like starts from the IC designing, and then it goes to the wafer foundries, and then it goes to the package of the ICs and any semiconductors. So these are, especially the foundry and the package houses, they really contain a big cost, and big infrastructure is actually required. So for this, Indian government has to play a big role to bring those big companies from other countries to India, so that they can manufacture here. Already so many actions taken, as Nishikant also shared. So things started, but it will take a lot of time. But what we can do right now is the manufacturing of inductors, PCBs, capacitors. So these are the products which are already getting manufactured in India, and it has no limitation in it. So we should really support, industry should support the suppliers and the makers who are making the products within India. So this is something where we can really play a good role and to increase the manufacturing base within India. So, so now I go to solutions. In solutions, there is a big part is the technology drive. So I have categorized this also into two different areas. One is the components distributors, what the component distributor can play the role. So component distributors can definitely bring new technologies because this is their expertise. Because they do this thing from morning to evening all the time. So we have very strong history for this, because we have seen the LED bulb when, around 4, 5 years, 6 years back, the bulb price was around 450 rupees and quantities were very less. Then ESL came to the picture, and then volumes are increased at any crazy level. And then of course the price has gone down to 35 rupees. So it has definitely brought all the distributors also played a very good role in this to bring up such kind of, the cost effective components into the industry. So also the distributors has to play a very important role to support the customers on the technical level. They should support on the demo board, schematic, PCB layout, testing, everything. So they should be working as the extended arm for the industries, for the manufacturer of LED products. Now what industry should do as a technology drive, they should invest more on the engineers and the equipments, because this is something we feel only the big players are having such kind of things. So they should bring these kind of things to make their R&D more effective, and so that they can build up the effective products as well. And then industry should support local design houses, because there are many design houses, they are very expert in this, but still they don't get that kind of value from the industries, and then they start getting into the manufacturing stuff, and then they cannot do very good in manufacturing because they are not expert in this. So this is why we should value those people, and the industry should actually support the design houses to collaborate together, so that design houses should be spending their own time for the designs only. Okay, and then as a solution, what support we would be needing and what government should do is, one thing, the major point is the USD to INR control. Here it is a very important factor, because if we compare with the people who actually increase their manufacturing facilities in a big way, their government have supported their local currency to, and USD transaction is on a very effective way, so that they could do it well. And second point is action against the illegal imports. There are many government policies. They have they have increased the duties so that complete products should not be imported, but still there is a lot of illegal imports is happening. People are importing the goods by declaring the low value, or they are misdeclaring the products. So this way, a lot of complete products are getting imported from other countries. So this is the this is one of the big business leakage for the manufacturing within India. So I think these actions should be taken against those people. And FDI, Indian government is doing very good in FDI rules. They should improve more a little bit, that because FDI is now happening at a very big level. So if FDI is easy and awareness is very good in the people, then of course the small and medium industries can also get FDI from the small and medium industries of other countries, so that the small and medium so such kind of actions, lot of small and medium FDIs can come to India to grab this market more well. And funding cost should be well, because other countries, if we compare ourselves, their funding cost is too less and our funding cost is too high. So government should support for this, and it's already happening now, but I think there is still I also strongly believe that there is awareness problem also. If somewhere is funding cost is better, then awareness is not there. Then actions again, defaulters, illegal imports I have already mentioned, but also the defaulters who are just taking the benefits of the business, just playing with the others' money. So those actions should be so quick, so that business should be clean and should be more focused on the manufacturing stuff, should be more focused on the actual transaction effects. So those kind of actions should be taken. And this is my last slide for ecosystem. So, okay, these are the 4 points where I strongly believe that ecosystem actually can be more better. One is the component sourcing online portal. So I strongly believe that we should, all the industry people, even the customer, even the industries or even the component sites, they should make a kind of uh, online portal so that they should, everyone can access each other's inventory, and people should be more good on their own expertise. Where they are expert, they should be doing only that kind of stuff. And the systematic process in small and medium scale industry, people who are very small and very medium, they should also have a systematic process and training to the team should be very much trained to have their own role, because team is actually the pillar of the big businesses, big systems. Okay, yeah, thanks a lot.
Okay, yep. That's really great. Sandeep, thanks for the nice presentation. Now we are right on, just 5 minutes behind, so let's have question answers. There are lots of questions there on the screen. Would Deepika like to prompt us on which questions, or how is it? Hello?
So we would like you to pick a few questions and answer some of them in the Q&A section.
There was a question on life of LEDs. There's a general feeling that the life of LEDs is coming down. It's not really true. The intrinsic life of is exactly same. You talk about 1 lakh hours or 2 lakh hours at the LED level. But when we do the economics of it, when you convert it into a lamp, you have to also look at the total cost, and then you compromise on, you overdrive it, or you use plastics for very high scale production, and so you are not allowing the heat to come out. So there's some kind of compromising. So life versus cost. There's a trade-off, and as per that trade-off, I think we have reached a good balance point. And at this price and at this thing, and this is the life. At any time, for any specialized purposes, a life can be enhanced, and the customer can, when the customer is willing to pay for that, and go for the life part. I think it's not that LED life is coming down. In fact, it is improving every day. With the reliability is really good. Right.
So there was a very important question on drivers, which we had sent you.
Right. So Bhaskarji.
Yeah, I think there was a
even Nishikant and Sandeep also can talk in case they are dealing with the driver, other brands of driver.
Okay, so there is a question. The question is, as everybody knows, day by day, Chinese drivers designs are coming in market. Many big customers started buying directly from China. Is it good for industry? I would say no, because it all depends upon the warranty that you give to your customer on the product level. Because as Gupta ji was mentioning, the life of LED is going up, but whereas if you don't have a very good life for driver, the product fails. So whether it's a whole product that is going to come back. So I would insist to go with a reliable source who can guarantee the product, whose history is well established. And today a lot of drivers don't even have the name on the chip. When you talk to them, they don't even give the data sheet. They don't even share any test data of the IC. So you get only the price, and you don't get warranty for the product. So it is very you are going to lose money. So if the product comes back, and whatever you have manufactured is a big loss. So don't go with that.
You would like to add something?
Sir,
Unmute किया इसलिए. Okay.
Sir, I want to add my points also in that. I already said that recurring cost is also important. When you are buying any overseas driver or something, the first part come your company name initially. So if you are buying any driver, it fails in the market. So first your company name will be in a bad shape. That is a more important. Second one is you are giving a warranty or the guarantee behind the driver. So whenever you comes back, it is important that you know all the parameter or how the IC is working. If it's always good if you develop in your R&D house, your R&D guys will hands on the driver.
So there's a question on the uh, does Quality have any plan to produce other lighting components in India? Um, I really don't know what you mean by other components, but if you're talking about other versions of LED, LED itself is a very complicated industry by itself. So equipment used for one LED cannot be used really for many. If I have to use a different package, I need to have a complete differently line itself altogether. So that's one thing. But yes, within one LED, we make lots of varieties. You can have, there's a blue LED and the phosphor, this combination can create any spectrum of your choice. We can have, everybody is already well aware of cool white, warm white, other things. But at the same time, we are supplying lots of LEDs with very low CCT for to mimic the natural incandescent bulb. At the same time, very high whitish LED, 11,000 for the signages. At the same time, many people want a sunlight spectrum. There we give them. And there is also a lot of demand for museum and shop lighting, where you want to reproduce the colors very, very absolutely correctly. In which case, high CRI, color rendering index, becomes important. So there we have to play with the phosphors to add all the absentee colors into that, so that they conform with the color charts. And then we produce high CRI, almost 90-95 CRI we have given. One example is studio lighting, where you are using the shooting for the TV and cinema. They need lights which can substitute the normal halogen bulb, at the same time give all the color rendering. So there again, 95% to 99% CRI LEDs are required. That's a good industry, and then we are supplying to that. So apart from lighting, which is the main source, bread and butter, and volume wise, we are adding we are capable of giving all other types of LEDs for any purpose. And nowadays, the UVC LEDs has become very, very, very important. Everybody is looking at it. Yeah, LEDs are very easy to use. You just don't need any high power supplies. It's very portable, very lightweight. So they can be used in portable equipment for disinfecting. So lots of small boxes or hand vans. Of course, I won't recommend hand vans because the light, UVC light, is dangerous for skin and eye, and we don't know the long-term implications. So you have to use where the moment the light is on, it should when somebody is looking at it, it should be off. So again, that's a not so difficult technology to implement electronics wise, but that safety factor should be there in whatever appliances you try to make with it. I think I know lots of startups who are to whom we have supplied samples and LEDs, and then they are all going to do well. That's it.
We still have some time to answer a few more questions.
Yes.
Here's another one on drivers, which is from Anumil David. Would you like to answer this? Does your product matches their criteria? Bhaskar, would you like to answer this question? It's like, how does component of LED products ensure the reliability of the component goes into drivers, especially the one like ferrite core of which is like heart of the electronic circuit, irrespective of whether it is used in LED driver or not. Anyone, Bhaskar, can you answer this?
Yeah, with respect to magnetics, that's a very tricky question, and definitely that is going to be a very important component in the driver. So selection of ferrite is very important. You should look at number one, again, a reliable supplier and its permeability and its long-term support. Then, can it be manufacturable in India? There are a couple of manufacturers. One is, I know somebody in Nasik, Mahindra, and manufactures some core. And then you have imported cores from EPCOS. And also maybe they're making in locally here. And there are a couple of, ferrite companies. There's one in Chennai. Obviously, these are all the good suppliers. I would say work with these people. Definitely, you will get a good, reliable component, and it's very critical.
Right. Since we're getting a lot of questions, but unfortunately, we won't be able to answer all because of the time constraint. For all these questions, we can also answer on our online, on our website, on our Facebook. If you write these questions, we can answer these questions later also. And sir,
I
over to you,
think
sir.
the questions on drivers are very well justified. In fact, designing SMPS circuit, having known the circuit also, it's a more of an art, as much of an art as much as science.
Yeah.
So that's why you don't see many successful people in this line, and lots of experience is required. So I definitely, it's a very good scope for all the technocrats here to get into LED drivers design and making them. And in future, I think we have lots of scope to export to Africa and many other places. We have excellent specifications. Indian specifications are so strict compared to any other rest of the world that our products will be technically accepted everywhere. Only thing is we have to also match it cost-wise and make it attractive. And then we have huge volumes, and that will create a lot of employment. I think it's time that the associations or we all work together and see that there's a good authority set up to promote Indian brand of lighting, and probably we should work with LACMA should take a lead, and then also Elcoma is there. So using them, and we should try to do something better in this.
Sir, we must take this last question, which is since we're talking about smart lighting IoT today, and a lot of people are interested in doing this business. So the question is for smart connected lighting, Indian market needs IoT. How can we create a common universal protocol platform to interoperate with all lighting products? Sandeep and Nishikant, will any of you would like to answer this?
Sandeep answers, I can supplement it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think yeah, this is very good question because we all are thinking about this question always. So there should be definitely a common platform because as of now, few people are coming up with big brands. I would not name them because kind of a marketing, but so definitely there should be a very good system.
जी आप बोल सकते हैं ऐसी बात नहीं।
Sorry.
आप ब्रांड को नेम कर सकते हैं, कोई बात नहीं।
No, for example, like Tuya is doing very good in IoTs. Like again, they are Chinese company, and they are working very fine on this. And this is what is their focus is. They are just made it for the IoT products. So, but definitely again, this is again their own protocol. They have so all the companies, not Tuya only, all the IoT, the major technology driven people. They have their own platforms, they have their own servers. So that is why this is very difficult. For example, if I buy one product from one company and then I buy one product from another company, I need to open two different apps. So this is kind of a big challenge as of now. It is coming up. So yeah, so Mr. Praveen has taken a very good question. So I really don't have answer of this because I also have the same question.
I think the IoT, there are lots of NFC technologies, how they'll talk to each other and mesh with each other. And then there's a big pain. And then there are some companies who are put their own shell on top of it and proprietarized it. This is a way in which, suppose Apple has its own community. Same way you have these people also trying to have people into their community, like Samsung has its own way of putting integrating all their devices. So I think an Indian brand also could come up with which gives end-to-end solution, and then try to make hardware which is compatible to that and mass produce it so that people can afford. A $1 chip will transform your device into an IoT device. It's so easy, right? And they have all the software and all the apps readily available. So overnight you can become from a normal device manufacturer to intelligent device manufacturer overnight. So that kind of solution we expect from Indian manufacturers. There are lots of technocrats here. They should definitely look at it. And if required, we can have a association so that all the users can try to support them to as a beta testing or supporting any whatever way it is. I hope that Messe Frankfurt will make an effort to bring all such things together, and then we can have a combination and then have a database of such people and see whether we can quickly come into have an Indian brand of cloud computing using IoT.
Right, right.
Deepika, I have because there are few questions coming on the UV product.
Yeah.
So can I
I was
take 1
actually
minute to
going
just
to highlight this only because UV is also very apprehensive product and everyone's like to know about it. So can you answer this? What is the future of UV lighting in COVID-19 condition for disinfection
yeah,
purpose?
there are 4-5 questions I think for the UV. So I just
See,
give,
of course, 4-5 questions cannot be taken.
but just as a
Yeah.
topic, I'm just addressing this.
Yeah.
Okay, so UV is definitely because of this COVID, everyone is thinking about this market. So let me just clarify few things which is very important, because UV itself has a 3 major versions. One is UVA, UVB, and UVC. So as of now, for the disinfection function, UVC is the right product. So so very first thing is like there is one question that is, I mean, they can be manufactured in India. Yes, the UV products, UV lamps can be manufactured in India. So also the UV LEDs, Mr. Vijay said that they are working on it. So they also can support the LEDs as well. So if you want to manufacture any kind of product based on UV for the disinfection, yes, it can be manufactured, and it is not, it has no rocket science in this, especially as a product. So, but yes, definitely we should be having the right source, right technology people into this, so that they should not happen that the supplier from China, maybe they sell UVA or UVB. They also look like violet color LEDs, but people are using it as UVC. So even we see small people are getting into this trap. So the first thing is we should be having the right supplier. Second, the complete product. What product we make, that should be good for the health of the people, because few people are making such a few kind of UVC product for the disinfection, but if skin comes into this contact of the light, then it is not good for the skin. It can actually, for the longer period, it can create kind of a diseases in the skins. And very important thing is like UVC is not only for the COVID. It has very good future, because now it can have into the water purifiers, air purifiers. So UVC has a future in all these kind of stuff. So, so this is just a glimpse of it, just to give an idea about it.
Thank you, Sandeep. Thank you. So, sir,
I think it has been a great, fruitful interaction here. I hope members who attended found lots of useful things. Now I go to Deepika to conclude the session.
Thank you so much, sir. And we all are getting good responses, good benefit from all these webinars, business webinars, which is the new trend. And I'm sure we all are, getting good knowledge. So here we have 2 polling questions regarding the webinar. Questions. So this will give us an idea. This will give us an idea of how benefit these webinars are for us. So the question goes: would you like to attend the sourcing webinar where manufacturers present their products? Yes. So majority of people are saying yes. It's good to know that this virtual medium is also helping us a lot. Sitting at home, we are able to be connected with the fraternity. That's good to know, sir. Rhonda, can I have the second question, please? So if your answer is yes in the previous question, how many companies would you like to present in the sourcing webinar?
You mean as a presenters, or what is it?
Yes, sir, as a presenters.
In which case the format could go longer.
Yeah, sir, yeah. And maybe you can get some more time.
Of course, the more the merrier.
Yeah.
But from different from the power industry, some from the lighting industry.
Right.
So that's amazing. People would like to see 10 companies. 5 minute each.
Okay.
That gives us give them a more
Absolutely.
information on various products and maybe various companies.
Yeah, that's a good format. Yeah,
Yeah,
5 is good format.
that's nice to know. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So it was indeed a pleasure to have you all as our speakers, and thank you very much, Mr. Gupta, for hosting this absolute intriguing conversation that will stretch the way forward to the LED industry. Thank you to all our panelists and audience for some amazing inputs. We hope our discussion has given you some new areas of strategies to work on. And for more information on our upcoming webinars, visit our social media handles on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and stay healthy, stay safe, and most importantly, stay connected. Thank you so much all.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Before going, I just want to add that there's a SL Bus, Indian technology platform, which helps in IoT. I think we could start exploring that company, right? SL Bus, SL-Bus. Good.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Being local.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thanks, all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Pan.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thanks, all of you.